Arsenal will never forgive themselves if they don't win title now, Declan Rice says. Arsenal may have left Nottingham Forest on Saturday night, regretting a missed opportunity. The reality is, they will actually never have a better chance of ending a Premier League title drought stretching back to the Invincibles of 2004. Mikel Arteta's side have emerged from the weekend with an advantage stretched to 7 points, as the chasing pack aiming to put them under pressure stumbled badly. Arsenal and Arteta will rightly urge caution, but the Gunners will never forgive themselves if they do not claim the crown that has proved so elusive, faced with the domination of Manchester City and the successes of Liverpool. When every circumstance is examined, this feels like the now or never season for Arteta's Arsenal. If they fail to win the title this season from such a position, the regrets will run deep. Everything is in place for a triumphant surge towards the finishing tape. Back-to-back goalless draws has left some questioning Arsenal's firepower, but with the tightest defence in the league and their rivals continually slipping up, it would take a brave person to back against them now. Bigger leads have been lost at the top of the Premier League before and later in the season, but none of the teams below them showing signs of producing the consistency needed to challenge them. Manchester City failed to turn up the pressure valve before Arsenal travelled to the City ground by losing the derby at Manchester United, a fourth straight match without a win. And then, here at Villa Park, Aston Villa saw their hopes of leapfrogging Pep Guardiola's side into second place undone as excellent Everton secured a fully deserved win. As full reigning champions Liverpool, they have mounted a miserable defence of their crown. Saturday's disappointing draw against Burnley at Anfield that provoked jeers from their fans, leaving them fourth, a distant 14 points behind Arsenal. Villa had won their previous 11 games at home, but Everton threatened the decisive moments long before Thierno Barry cashed in on keeper Emi Martinez's decision to turn a routine stopper into an item for his Shariel with a classy finish. Unai Emery has been keen to play down Villa's title aspirations, even though they have deservedly placed themselves right at the heart of the conversation. He can do so with more justification now, as he said. There are other teams with more potential than us. We lost a very good opportunity here, but we are having a fantastic season. We lost the opportunity to be second in the league, something very fantastic, but we must now recover. When you lose you are sad, when you win you are happy. We have been happy more times than sad this season. Villa still look a good bet for a Champions League place, which would be deservedly celebrated. But there was no disguising Emery's disappointment, as well as that of the increasingly agitated home fans, at this setback. It is little wonder Emery is believed to have his sights set on bringing striker Tammy Abraham, currently on loan at Besiktas from Roma, back to Villa Park. Villa have sold Daniel Malin to Roma, the forward scoring on his debut, and their need for added firepower is reflected in the fact this was the 7th Premier League match in which they have failed to score this season, as many times as they drew a blank in the whole of the 2024-2025 campaign. So, for all Arsenal's frustration at not seeing off Nottingham Forest, they have come out of the weekend with their position strengthened. Arsenal have cemented their position, while those around them are not showing the consistency and quality of title contenders. Manchester City were perceived as the biggest threat to Arsenal, but they have picked up only 3 points out of 12. Arsenal have been the great pretenders to the Premier League title in recent years, finishing second in the past 3 seasons. This is the chance they have yearned for, in control of their own destiny, as those they will regard as rivals falter. Arteta has an all-powerful squad, built on an airtight defence with quality in all areas. Arsenal may have been feeling they had left the door ajar with the draw at Forest, not anymore. It has now closed even further on those nursing title aspirations of their own. The cards are falling in Arsenal's favour. What can possibly go wrong from here? Declan Rice launches second X-rated rant in 4 days after Arsenal held to frustrating draw by Nottingham Forest. Arsenal midfielder Declan Rice could not hide his frustration at seeing his team held to a disappointing draw at Nottingham Forest on Saturday in the Premier League. The Gunners missed a chance to extend their lead at the top of the table to 9 points after failing to break down a determined home side. Rice was seen to be fuming after the game and indulged in an X-rated rant. Rice was spotted fuming after the final whistle at the City ground. Television footage captured Arsenal teammate Noni Madueke shared Rice's frustrations after the draw and felt his side had not been good enough in attack. He told the club's media, "We weren't clinical enough in front of goal. I think they didn't have a chance really at all. They didn't really do anything to our goal. We weren't clinical and we could have won the game, but like I said, we take a point and we move on. We're in 4 competitions. So we literally play, recover, play, recover, play. So it's a lot of games, but that's the beauty of playing in England." Rice's angry rant comes fresh after a midweek row with assistant manager Albert Stuvenberg during Arsenal's Carabao Cup semi-final clash with Chelsea. The two were spotted in a heated exchange in a tunnel at Stamford Bridge, with Rice blurting out, "He doesn't know what the hell he is on about." Arteta was quizzed on the incident afterwards and insisted there was no problem between the pair. He explained, "All sorted, all good. The good thing is that by the time I found out, the problem was resolved, so that's very good." Arsenal's draw against Forest follows on from a stalemate against Liverpool last time out in the Premier League and means the Gunners have had consecutive stalemates in the top flight for the first time in 14 years. Arteta admitted his team had created enough chances to win, admitting Rice was one of several players who could have scored. He told reporters, "Obviously, we came here to win the game, and we haven't managed to do that for different reasons. Credit to them, because they are really well organised, and they are really good at breaking momentum when you have certain dominance in the game. But the reality is that we created 4 massive chances as well, with Martinelli an open goal, Declan Rice a tap-in, Mikel and the header of Bukayo, and on top of that obviously a very clear penalty in the box that is not given. So, without conceding a single shot on target, again, the fact that we haven't won the game is disappointing. On top of that, I think we can do things better, especially in certain attacking areas. He's a great character as well. I think that's important as well. He's a great guy in the dressing room, always a smile on his face. He can play really good football." Arsenal will look to Rice for inspiration again as they face another hectic week with games in the Champions League and the Premier League. First up is a trip to San Siro to take on Inter before Arteta's side host Manchester United at the Emirates.